how to get started in Dungeon World. First thing, buy the book. It's not too expensive. It's the only book you're going to have to buy. No expansions, everything you need to play right here. You're also going to have to download some PDFs. You can find them online. They're all free. This is the primary system that you're working with. Rather than a D20 system, you're rolling 2d6, two 6-sided dice every time you make a move. 10 plus, which means you do it with little trouble. 7 to 9, you do it, but with complications. Usually those complications will be listed in the move itself. And then on a 6 or lower, that's when the GM gets to take a move. You also mark experience then. That's one of the things I love about this game. You gain experience by failing at things. No failure is ever wasted in this game. Every time the dice are rolled, something happens and the story moves forward. Once you've downloaded those PDFs, you've got your basic move sheet. Your basic move sheet are the moves that anybody in the game can take. Then you've got your special move sheet. These are moves that are invoked at particular times in the game, such as when a character gets down to 0 HP, or when you're ending a session and you're trying to decide how much XP everybody gets, or when you've gotten enough experience to level up. Next, I'm going to show you what a basic character sheet looks like. Every class has its own character sheet that is specially designed for it. It has its own unique alignments that are related to the class. It has its own unique bonds that you can form with other players that are also related to that character. And then all of the moves and all the information you need to level up your character through the entire game is on these 2 sheets of paper right here. That's all you need. So you'll see up top, you've got the look, and it'll have suggestions for you. You can either pick one of those or write your own in a blank provided. It even has suggestions for names, broken down by race. It limits the number of races you can do, but it always gives you the option of writing an additional race and working with your GM to come up with a bonus associated with that race. You'll see that there's set stats for the different attributes. Down here, anything that's pre-X'd off means that you already have it, but you're still probably going to have to make some choices. Like here with the thief, he has to choose which of these 4 poisons he wants to start off with a proficiency in. The alignments all come with an action. If you can complete that action within a session, you get a bonus experience point. Same thing with bonds. You write down bonds that you have at the beginning with the different player characters. If you can resolve those bonds, once per session you can resolve a bond, and that gives you an experience point. On the back, second sheet, you'll see starting gear. You have to make some choices between different things. For instance, here we're looking at between a dagger and a short sword. That's a pair of beats. We probably shouldn't use those as a belt. What do you think?
I clicked it.
You did click it. Okay. This whole second sheet that they call advanced moves, you're really not going to have to worry about until you level up. These are the extra moves you can start taking once you level up. So the last thing that you're going to need to do is you're going to need to develop your front. The book is going to help you a lot here. The toolkit they have for developing fronts is honestly just excellent. It has all the different types of dangers, and it breaks those down into different types of ambitious organizations. Each of them has an impulse, like a misguided good ambitious organization's impulse is to do what is, quote, right, no matter the cost. There are GM moves for ambitious organizations. Attack someone by stealthy means, attack someone directly, absorb or buy out someone important. These things are so useful when you're in the game and trying to decide what happens next when the players fail a move. Next, it has a whole section that explains Grim Portents to you, but Grim Portents are basically just specific things that can happen to advance the story towards the end point, the impending doom. So I'm going to present you with 3 ideas for what your first front could be. The first idea is to just use the example front they give you, the opening of the White Gate. It even comes with a description and a cast with names, custom moves for this particular front, and it lays out the stakes for you. If you don't want to do that and you want to be a little more original, my recommendation is just to flip to the back of the book where it's got its monsters and just pick 4 cool monsters that you're like, I would love to run this monster in a game, and then figure out how they connect and write a front around them. My last suggestion, which is very self-serving, is a front that I wrote, that I use for starting players, that I like to call the Sorcerer's Forest. The way I designed it, I went into the back of the book and I found 4 or 5 different monsters that I thought sounded cool, and I threw them into a front together. That is just the rough and ready basics of how to get started in Dungeon World. I'm going to do some more videos about my favorite stuff in Dungeon World, some of the moves that I think are just really unique and cool. But keep following. I'm going to talk more about Dungeon World, and I'm going to talk more about some other games.